Father will spend the rest of his life in prison, and it only took the jury a few hours to make that decision. The trial itself has been astounding to watch. Wesley Mathews spent 2 days on the stand trying to explain what happened when his daughter died and why he didn't call for help. In the end, jurors didn't buy it, and he'll pay for it with his freedom. Jobin Paniker has been covering this case since Sherin Mathews first went missing. He's live at the courthouse. Jobin, what are you hearing?
No, we have been covering this story for such a long time, from the very beginning, through every development, from the time she went missing to the time this verdict was read here. Now, this story has been tough for a lot of people, tough for people who have small children like myself. Now, the defense and the state went back and forth at each other's throats, it felt like, but both sides did agree on one thing, that Sherin Mathews needed justice.
After nearly 2 years after Sherin Mathews' death, a verdict was in. Her father, Wesley, like through most of the trial, was stoic as it was read.
And hereby assess punishment at life imprisonment.
It was unanimous, life in prison. His wife, Cindy, rushed out of court faster even than the attorney escorting her. Rafael De La Garza represented Wesley, talked with him in the back room after the verdict.
Mr. Mathews is obviously saddened by the verdict. Anybody would be, but he knows the jury, he respects the jury's decision.
But before the jury decided, they sat through 2 days of intense testimony, including seeing images of Sherin's decomposed body found in the culvert where Wesley put her.
They're horrible. They're the worst photographs I've ever seen. I'll never see anything worse than those.
Sherin's story went international. A little girl adopted from India, seemingly to a good home. The emotion carried into the courtroom even. The jury needed tissues during testimony.
When you're dealing with a 3-year-old deceased girl, it's very difficult. You know, emotions are very powerful, and it's sad no matter how you look at it.
But the biggest drama happened in the beginning. What many thought would be a capital murder trial was not. The state finally answered that question.
We can't prove capital murder when the medical examiner can't say how Sherin died. That's the bottom line. That's a very simple decision.
The state says this was justice for Sherin, nearly 2 years after her death.
All right, so Wesley Mathews can appeal this decision. They have not decided whether to do that yet. He is eligible for parole in 30 years. Chris, back to you.
A lot of us will never forget those images of that little girl. Thank you, Jobin.